This here is Bowmore at 12 years old, and this is the signature malt whisky of the distillery. It probably has the most recognisable of the Islay influences in all the whiskies in our range. The younger a Bowmore, the more smoky and the more peaty the Bowmore is, and as it tends to age, you find that there's a drop in the peating levels just through natural evolution. At 12 years old, this really does show you, I think, all that you would expect from a middle-aged Islay malt. Now this predominantly has bourbon barrels. There's also a small amount of sherry in there just to balance and give extra complexity to the flavour. But at 12 years old you really get that sweet, smoky vanilla coming through. It's not like a burning vanilla. When you nose this, it's really almost as if you put a vanilla pod into a skillet pan and allow it just to heat and begin to smoke. First thing as always with your whisky is just raise it up and take a little look at the whisky in the glass. You can see it's a fairly light colour here. It gives indication that it's younger in age. When you bring the Bowmore up to your nose, again just try and keep your mouth open when you take a few short inhalations. You get that sweet vanilla that predominantly comes from North American oak. There's a little bit of spiciness in there just from the European oak, but the predominant flavour is sweet smoked vanilla. Bowmore 12 is at 40% alcohol. I guess, you know, when you talk about the way that people should drink whiskies, I don't think there's a correct way to drink whiskies. I think you'll find that people can enjoy this straight, they can enjoy it with some water, they can enjoy it with some ice. Preferably for me, I drink my whisky straight up, maybe just with a touch of water, especially in the summer. What you will find with a touch of water is that it just brings out more sweetness from the whisky. Now we could talk about this all day, but I think it's very important that you taste it. And this is going to give you one characteristic that is only ever seen in what I class as maritime malts, and that's malt whiskies that are found on the coasts of Scotland. It gives you a saltiness that you'll feel at the front and the side of the tongues, and that to me is what epitomises this as an Islay malt whisky, that smokiness allied with that saltiness. At first you get the smokiness, you get the earthy peatiness that is a typical Bowmore. You then get some of that sweetness coming through, some vanilla from the North American oak influence, just a touch of dryness from European oak, and then the tingle at the front and side of the tongues, that signature saltiness that you see from Atlantic whiskies.